of Culture 365 presents G.L.O.W, a greater level of wellness. With your co-host, Mea Allman, founder of Women of Culture 365 and G.L.O.W, a certified life, health, and nutrition coach. Sophia Green, producer and host of the Sophie G Radio Show, bringing you words of wisdom. Don Hewitt, certified holistic health coach on how to treat the whole body. And Lady Q, founder of Sisters of Faith and Pink 360, an evangelist and certified life purpose coach, bringing you spiritual advice. Join us as we go Facebook Live every third Tuesday at 7 p.m. to talk about the mind, body, and soul, a conversation you do not want to miss. Please bring your questions as you discover the power of your glow.
Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Coach Mea. Thank you all for tuning in to G.L.O.W 365 virtual show, which equals greater level of wellness. In 2020, we emerged from the pandemic tribulations. Then 2021 was a year still in darkness, growth, and the eagerness to move forward to heal and connect with families. In all essence, 2022, we're looking outside of ourselves to find a more understanding about our personal health. Does that mean anything if our planet is or our people are still suffering? Well, in this segment of our conversation, we will touch on health, mindfulness, beauty, skincare and some beauty tips, fitness, and nutrition, some wellness foods. But before we get started, allow me to introduce my beautiful, amazing co-host, Coach Dawn Hewitt. She is a certified holistic health coach to kick off the show. Hello, Dawn, and Happy New Year.
Hi, Mia. Happy New Year to you. And that was such a wonderful opening with some deep topics that you brought up.
Thank
It's good
you.
to be
I know you took a little bit of time off during the holidays, but I'm glad you're back. How was your holiday?
It was really, really good. Thank you for asking. My niece visited from Louisiana. She's the doctor that we wrote about in the Sickle
Mhm.
Cell issue of KO magazine, and it's just always a pleasure having her around. So it was great.
Uh,
And how was yours?
it was quiet. It's always nice to enjoy, family time, with the kids and my granddaughter. Of course, she gets spoiled during the holidays anyways. We don't even participate in buying presents for each other. So she gets all the glory. But
Right.
yeah, quiet and, just staying safe. That was it.
Yes. That sounds good.
Thank you. Now let's get started. We have put 2021 to bed. The past year has taught us to stay focused on things that are important to us in living healthy and a productive life. However, many of us are still struggling with mental wellness, making time for self care, staying active, and eating nutritional diet. Today, our outstanding guest, Coach Maria Mixon, aka Ria, is a native New Yorker from Brooklyn, my favorite place. Her cultural heritage is American Puerto Rican. She's a wife, mother of four, and she has been in the fitness, talent, fashion, dance, and makeup artist profession since 1990 to present. She's also a talent agent, a model consultant in the Orlando, Florida and has her own skincare cosmetic line, wellness teas and products, and fitness apparel line. And she's also a personal trainer in group exercise and Zumba instructor at Anytime Fitness Gym in Ocoee, Florida, a wellness coaching corporation, nutrition coach, and has studied herbs and holistic remedies. Also, she is KO Magazine 2019 Ribbons of Survivors 365 Cervix and Ovarian Cancer Ambassador and our Beauty 411 skincare journalist. She will also share on how we can manifest the best versions of ourselves through health, fitness, nutrition, and look fabulous with some beauty tips. Coach Ria, welcome to Glow 365 and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much. Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Rhea. Happy New Year to you. Wonderful to
Happy
have
New
you.
Year. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. So let's dive into getting a better sense of, living healthy. Now, Ria, there's a time in your life that you had some serious health challenges from severe illnesses and autoimmune disease. What has the single most important thing that has enabled you to become a long-term survivor?
So, fitness, most importantly, moving. Uh, I've been through a lot and I still go through a lot. It doesn't just cease after you go through different types of illnesses. Some linger, some you have to live with for the rest of your life. And those that become a part of us, we still have to be our healthiest version. And that means taking care of ourselves all the time, not sometimes, but repetitively, making it a habit to take care of ourselves. That way, if we do have any type of diseases that would cause flares, we at least know how we can not take it all away. Sometimes some of us have to live with those thorns in our flesh, but we can learn to live with it the best that we can.
Thank you for sharing that. That is definitely so true. Now, what inspired you to get into the fitness and wellness business?
So when I was younger and I was a dancer, I needed to be fit in order to, dance so that I can have more endurance. I was always the shortest one around. So I always had to like be the best of the loudest, because I was so little and short. Um, so fitness was one thing that I knew that I can excel in, and it became a part of my life, especially being a dancer. And I started doing a lot of coaching and training while I was dancing, and that inspired me even greater to become an aerobic instructor back then, what it was called, and then a personal trainer. And you know how we get into our professions and we're like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. And this is what I want to do. That's how I felt about fitness and makeup, because behind the scenes makeup artist was another thing that I loved because it was a part of the entertainment business. So I just put the two and two together because you have to take care of your skin. When you take
Yeah.
care of your body, you can't
Hmm.
do one thing and not the other. Um, so it's super important, to have overall wellness, skin, beauty, mind.
Yes, definitely. And you're one of the hardest working women I know because every time I turn around, you're doing something. And I was like, girl, I thought I was the only one that stayed busy, but you and you're truly a warrior and just, continue, doing what you're doing and sharing all your expertise and, just keeping us healthy and fit. Now, thinking back to during a difficult time from 2021 to 2020 to 2021, what has been, most challenging, thing that you've, overcome, did it affect or impacted your business during that time?
When I was going through different illnesses, you mean?
During, I guess, the pandemic,
Oh, during the pandemic.
2021, did it affect you, your business at all?
So in the beginning, when it first hit, in my mind, I was like, oh boy, um, something, is not, going to be what I thought. I thought it was always going to be like I was going to grow and, nothing was going to stop me. But then COVID came and yeah, it stopped me.
Mm.
So, but I took that time to revamp. I did virtual trainings. I started. The herbs and the seasonings became more popular during it. So during that uh, time of where a lot of people were losing in business, I was still working. I was still working. So that was a blessing for me because I was able to assist with a lot of people's health during. I had many clients that did have COVID that reached out to me virtually that I helped assist in continuing to help them to move and helping them in the kitchen, giving them some recipes and just overall support during their time of COVID.
Yes, and and I want to say a special thank you to you because one of my illness is, chronic insomnia, and you made me a batch of, teas
Yes.
that helped me to sleep. So I was able to wean myself off of, taking sleeping pills.
Yes.
And then also the soup that you made with
Yes.
the different herbs, which
Yes.
was so simple and easy that, I could just take a teaspoon, put it in a cup of hot water, and
Yes.
sometimes I add maybe some noodles or some
Mhm.
carrots and, some provision.
Mhm.
And it was just quick and easy, and it really helped, with my immune system
Yes.
as well. So, thank you for that. And it tastes
Welcome.
delicious.
Yes.
Yeah, because first that smell, I'm like, whoa. I mean, the scent was really strong. And I was like, I'm
Mhm.
not sure if I'm going to like this. But
Yeah,
after I put it, I was like,
because the
okay,
different
I
herbs
can do this.
together is really potent when you have different herbs together. But then when you sip on it, you're like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
nice. Yes.
definitely. Dawn, did you have any question you want to chime in?
Yes. So, what do you, Ria? What do you, as a health coach, which I'm a fellow health coach too. So, I'm so excited to talk to you about this. But what are your feelings about? I see that we are going to talk about that, but I do want to ask, like, what are your feelings about like zinc and vitamin C and vitamin D in the supplementation in the times of COVID?
So I'm a firm believer in getting all your nutrients from food.
Mhm.
Mm,
I am. I don't like anything synthetic or anything like that, and herbs, of course. But if you have to supplement, I do tell people what I do recommend for them. Everyone is different because sometimes it's not just during the COVID, everyone was going crazy over buying vitamin C. But do you know only a certain portion is going to be absorbed in your body?
mm-hmm.
And just consuming vitamin C doesn't make you immune. It
Yeah.
doesn't. You have to have the whole package in order for the minerals, the vitamins to absorb in your body. Like you have to have the D, you have to have the E. E is very important for immunity.
Mm,
So, but during that time, everyone was just getting the elderberries and getting this and getting that. And they would ask my opinion. And I'm like, just eat healthy. I need for you to eat healthy. I need for you to hydrate. I need for you to sleep, because, cells regenerate when we're sleeping. I need for you to move, even if it hurts. I need for you to move. You can do things as simple as sitting in a chair and just move, and that's going to help boost your immune system. So it's not as easy as just supplementation. And another thing is, a lot of people can't take supplements because it doesn't go with their medicines. It's one is going to cancel out the other. So I always tell everyone, I need for you to ask your doctor if you can take this and that, because they're the ones that are in charge of your health. And if you're on medicine, you do have to ask permission, because you don't want any type of interaction.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
That's why I say, if you get it from food, at least you know that, is getting in your system. But again, you have to make sure that you're doing everything that you need to do in order for it to absorb. And another thing I wanted to touch, so that I do not forget, I want everyone to not just get information from Google. I need for you to get information from different professionals. For
Right.
instance, your doctor could be one, someone in the holistic, profession, someone that knows herbs, someone who, that way, after you get all that information, you can make a decision, because there's so much information out there that is not true. And
Mhm.
people think that it is, because they say, oh, I saw it in 6 different sites. Well, that just means there's 6 different wrong things that's out there, So,
Yeah.
but I tell people all the time, just get someone that is a professional in what you're seeking, and don't just, find it on your own, because it's really important for you to know how you can be your healthiest version.
Yeah. And just
Yeah,
to
that's the.
piggyback off sorry, I just quickly wanted to just
Mhm.
piggyback
Sure.
off of what you said about the holistic picture of just, you know, if you don't eat well, supplementation is not going to make sense, and that's entirely true. And even with some of the natural remedies, like if it doesn't address the root cause, it's not going to stick, and it's not going to make a difference. Like when I used to be really anemic, and everybody would say just drink beet juice, and I would drink the beet juice and nothing would happen. And it turns out that I had a B12 deficiency because I was missing a certain digestive enzyme. So once I started to put those digestive enzymes in my routine, then I slowly started to improve. So
Yes, yes. And I'm glad you said that. And the number one area that we have to get right, that's in charge of everything, is that gut health.
Hmm.
mhm.
That gut health is everything.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was going to piggyback on what you said, Ria, and also Dawn, that it's again, Google is not a PhD or an MD doctor, so it's important to get that professional advice, whether it's a registered or certified nutritionist, your own primary doctor, because again, everybody body is different, and you have to do certain things according to your body type or whatever health conditions that you have, because not everybody is the same, and we think that we all can take the same thing and we're going to get the same results, and it doesn't always happen. And we don't realize that the fruits and vegetables out there have more potency of vitamins and nourishment than these pills. For me, I can't take, because I have a digestive problem. So, because I've been anemic, and my doctor put me on iron pills, and it just tears up my stomach. So I started, eating spinach and things that have iron in it. Hey, and it's worked properly. Same thing. I had problem with potassium level. I eat more bananas, oranges, and stuff. My potassium is fine. So you have to do your own, your research, and talk to a professional, and and get that advice. And again, people, don't stop taking your medication and taking these fruits and vegetables and think it's going to heal. Check with your doctor first.
Absolutely. And also too, there's some people that can't eat broccoli, and there's some people that cannot
Mm,
eat certain things that are good for us because they have certain autoimmune diseases or
yeah.
issues.
Hmm.
And when that happens, once again, you have to make sure that you know what you can eat for your body.
Absolutely. Well said.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that vital information there. Now we're gonna, tap into beauty, skincare. Now you've manufactured one of your products is Three Brothers skincare, which is for men. How
Yes.
important is it, for men to take care of their skin, especially during the winter season?
Very important. So I have four children. Three of them were boys, and one of them was a girl. Finally got that girl, but it was one of those things that with my boys, I taught them first about skincare,
Mm,
especially when they were going through that rough age. So they knew, and then when my daughter came along, she was the third one. They already knew, but it's very important. A lot of times, men, not all, but
mm,
some, you don't wash your face before going to bed, and that's super important.
mm,
You have to, of course, wash it in the morning, but you also have to do it at night too. And I know a lot of times people may forget or what have you, but when something becomes really important, you just make sure that you do it. Especially because they do have the rough skin, and especially with the whole shaving, it's very important, to have a skincare regimen, cleansing and toning and moisturizing. Super important. That cannot be missed. And of course, your special treatments like doing facial mask. And let me tell you, there is nothing feminine about a mask. Anybody
mhm.
can mask. You could be masculine. You can look like Hercules and all macho having a mask on. Um, it doesn't have to be, it's not a girl thing. It's a
Mhm.
skincare thing. So that is important because you have to take the impurities out.
Yeah.
There's so many free radicals around that go in our pores that can make
Mhm.
us sick too. So we have to do everything that we can to protect the skin so that if it does penetrate inside, again, our immune system will work for us in our defense. But a lot of times it goes into our pores. And men, I do know that a lot of men, they do like the Aztec clay mask. They do like that
Yeah.
because it's a little bit more, like muddy, and they feel like, okay,
Masculine.
I, I still feel macho. I could put this on. And I do teach men how to make it. This is just of course, the powder, and all you do is add water to it to make it into a clay, and you put it on
Mhm.
10 minutes, and then you take it off. I like this mask because it does penetrate and get all those impurities out. I do like doing that like once a week on my son.
Now, would you recommend for men part of that, regiment like once a week, or how often could they even do that face mask?
Yeah, well, it depends on their skin type. As far as like a mask, I would prefer them doing a mask like about once or twice a week. It doesn't have to be a every day thing. That's just like a
Mhm.
special treatment type of thing. And some have to do it twice, depending on if they have any skin care issues, acne, eczema, that all comes to play. So it all depends on the type of skin they have. If they have normal skin or sensitive skin, they can just do it once a week.
Okay. Yeah, and it's so important to, to keep our face clean, especially, during this pandemic, and, we're out and about in the air and stuff, and you don't want to come home and lay down in your bed and rub it on your pillow, you know, with that.
Yeah,
What
you
about
can use
like, other
it
than
very
washing, maybe like warm steam towels?
Well, I mean, there's different ways of doing that. You can splash warm water on your face.
Mhm.
You can simmer some loose leaves of tea, like green tea, for instance, organic loose green tea in water. And as soon as it starts steaming a little bit, you can put that steam on your face. Just be very careful that it's not too hot. It doesn't need to be hot. It just needs
Mhm.
to be, simmer so that you can get that steam. Um, and then there's the steamer that some people use for their face. So it all depends on your time, what kind of person you are. If you're that type of person that wants to do that, if you're not, warm water will be fine to first splash
Mhm.
on. Then you're going to cleanse
Mhm.
after you finish cleaning your skin. Then toning. I like using the Thatters. I tell the men that this is a really good toner for them, and if they have sensitive skin, especially, this is great too. And this one's the lavender one, and it does calm a lot of the shaving issues that they may have or eczema flares. But I do like this because whatever the cleanser didn't take out, this will take out. You just put it in a cotton pad, rub it
Mhm.
on your face, look at it, and see, the dirt come off. And then after that is when I do suggest the serum goes on their face and beauty oil. And if a man doesn't want to do too many steps, he can just do the cleanser, he can do the toner next, and then he can get something like, um, making castor oil. And all you need is just a tiny bit. Look at that. All you need is like literally a little bit. And when you put it on your skin like this, you tap and you're ready. And that
Right.
will absorb in your skin. That's it. If they want to be, have like a nice, simple routine.
Awesome. See, men, we got you covered. We didn't leave you out.
And I love, putting the rest on my hands because, as you know, when we're aging, the back of the hand, very thin
Hmm.
surface,
Yeah,
the neck, very thin, around the eyes, very thin. So we have to treat those things extra with TLC
definitely.
and
Thank
this
you so
pattern.
much.
You're welcome.
And when it comes to self-care, skin and beauty regimens, can be termed primarily components. And grooming plays a role when it comes to confidence building and enhancing our personality. As we step into 2022, Ria, can you share some self-care tips for women?
So most importantly,
Water. I know.
100%. Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
what about coconut water?
coconut water is great too, but
Here.
Oh,
if you're
good.
gonna do the coconut water, get the real coconut water, not the one that has
Yes.
corn syrup, cane, whatever
Yeah.
additives. Just get a coconut, cut it, drink it. So I don't like additives and things. So if you're gonna do something, just do it the right way.
I
But
know you have your own water company there, the
Oh,
R&D
wow.
water. Is that
yes,
natural water? Does that have
yeah,
any
spring water, just
spring
spring
water?
water.
Okay.
Myself and a business partner of mine, Andre, um, we founded this, especially because we were both, of course, in the fitness business and wellness,
Mm,
but we wanted something that wasn't like any other. And it took about a year for us to sample different ones, after we
mhm,
found the manufacturer. And when we finally did, I'm telling you, this water, when you drink it, you literally have to stop yourself from gulping it because you want to hurry up and drink it. That's how good it is and light. And you'll
mm,
see the difference between this and other waters. A lot of different people say that it reminds them of Fiji water,
Hmm.
but we tell them it's better than that.
That is wonderful.
But so that's one of the things that I do encourage is water, of course,
Hmm.
and nutrition. Um, Nutrition is so super important because if you're eating too much sugar or consuming a lot of processed oils, and then you want to start taking care of your skin, well, you just sabotage. You just wasted so much money because these are not going to work. They're not going to work.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's not going to work. So I tell people all the time, it has to be collectively. You have to eat right. Sleeping is very important. And I know, Mia, you think I don't sleep, but I do.
What, 5 minutes?
I I absolutely sleep. My husband will tell you I'm serious about my sleep. When it's time for me to sleep, I tell everyone I want everything off. It's like I'm the director. I want everything off. I'm going to sleep. And everybody's like, okay, be quiet. Let me go to sleep. It's very important to me because, again, I need my cells renewed.
Yes.
And I get it. There's a lot of people that say, successful person never sleeps and blah, blah. That's not really what they meant. They meant that they meant that yes, we are up and doing different things and ideas and things like that. But at some point, yes, we do sleep. We have to, because if you don't, it will catch up to you.
Yes.
And we're not robots. I don't care how much good you eat and you think you're taking all the vitamins and minerals, and then you say, oh, I'm good with 3 hours. Okay, let's see how long that's going to last, because we do need to sleep. And a lot of times we don't know how to turn off this right here in
Yeah.
order to go to sleep. But that's something that, you have to get to know within yourself and what works for you.
Yeah, and that's definitely, getting, proper sleep at night gives our body time to heal and recover, all the traumatics, throughout the day. So yeah, I had
That's
to kind of restructure myself because I used to be up early on this computer till, 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I got to a point where I had to ask myself, did I eat lunch today or dinner? And I was like, whoa, this has to stop.
yeah,
So, and
because
even, dealing
all
with
those
this insomnia, I got to sleep.
yeah, and all those things that we want to do, guess
Mhm.
what? We can't do if we're not well.
Yeah.
We have to be well, and then we can do. A lot of times, I also hear people, because I'm also an accountability coach for many things, not just in wellness, but also like people that want to start businesses and things like that. I'm not a procrastinator. Procrastination is one thing that was never a part of me. So I like to get people going, especially if they say, I want to start this now. And if I see that they didn't start it, yeah, I'm going to bother them about it. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have told me about it, because now I'm going to be telling you, you need to be doing it. Because there is such thing as being busy and not getting anything done. And you don't want to do that. You want to be productive in what you do. And the only way you could be productive is if you can think clear. The only way you could think clear is if you have proper nutrition and proper sleep.
Definitely. I wanted to touch on one question before I forget, before I ask the next question. And we chat before we started. One of the things that I had problems with is that my skin was getting dry and also my lips from wearing the mask. And I know you said water, but I've been drinking a lot of water. Is there any thing someone could do that has that same problem? Maybe a different type of mask? Um,
Well,
uh,
they do have the different types of masks, but most
mhm,
importantly, It depends on the skin type you have. So I'm just going to use myself because I know my skin type, right? So after I finish cleansing my skin, I'm going to put my hyaluronic acid on um, to make sure that, because my skin tends to get dry. And I'm going to put that on so that it can penetrate first. It's the serum. Then after that, then I choose a beauty oil. And I do combine some beauty oils together. That's
Mm-hmm.
for my skin type. And that is my rosehip, my vitamin E, my avocado oil. And I do a concoction of that. And then after I finish, and if somebody wants to do something really simple, all they have to do is just equal parts of everything, even if it's just one little drop. And then you get the other one little drop. Then the other one little drop. Here you go. And then you start applying all over. Now, these oils, they do absorb into the skin. So it's not like you're going to look all greasy. It's not that type of oil. Some oils that are like that is for people that have like eczema and that need that extra moisture. Then, of course, the Jamaican castor oil is really good for that. And
Yeah.
also, a vegetable glycerin is also great for that. And I get a lot of people asking me how about if they want to do their sunscreen. So, with the sunscreen, if you do a sunscreen, if it's like a zinc sunscreen, you want to put that at the end of your skincare regimen. Like after your moisturizer, you put that on. But if you're using a sunscreen that has chemicals in it, you want to put that on first.
Okay.
So the more natural sunscreens, last step. And the chemical sunscreen, the first one after you cleanse, you put that on, and then everything else.
Awesome.
That's
Thank
my
you.
suggestion.
Great. Now I understand. Dawn, did you have a question?
Um, well, yes.
Okay.
But actually, my question would be a follow-up to yours.
Okay. I understand that, what we put on our skin absorbs into the internal organs. What toxins should we be aware of and always check to make sure that they're not in the ingredients in the cosmetics that we're using?
To simplify that, if you can't even pronounce it, if you don't know what it means, don't put it on your skin.
Mm,
There's so much chemicals, so many chemicals in products. Even if it says all natural, they have something there. Sometimes it's necessary to preserve, but you have to know whether or not it's okay for your skin. Because again, there's different people with autoimmune diseases. That's a trigger. And then they'll end up getting a flare because they put a product on their skin like the parabens, sulfate, different things like that. I know I itch a lot whenever there's something that has a sulfate, or paraben in it. I was like that ever since I was little. So that's very important, just to read ingredients when you do buy things, and take the time to take a picture of it, look it up. Um, it's just very important to know what you're putting on your skin. The simple ingredients are the best products to use.
And I know in our the September, October, November 2020 issue, under the Beauty 411 skincare, you did talk about some harmful ingredients, and you had listed a few of them for those that want to go to kuomagazine.com and click on the September, October, November 2020 issue.
Yes. Yeah, I have a big list there. It's so long. That's why it's better for everyone to use that as a reference, because it's so many chemicals. So many.
Mhm.
And you know what? And like California, they don't allow stuff like that in California.
Wow.
There's certain chemicals that are not allowed in that state. It makes you think. You're like,
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
aren't we
Florida?
human beings in Florida too? That
that's
is
Florida
so
sure
another
lets
true.
that's
everything
another
in.
discussion.
That's a
But
whole nother situation and discussion.
and you know what? The different types of things that people put on their skin has everything to do with how strong your immunity system is as well. Because certain things can really knock it down and you won't even know it because you wouldn't think that, oh, it may have been maybe the foundation I was using.
Right.
Look at your foundation label. Oh my goodness, you'll be
And,
amazed.
and some of them are labeled now with vegan. And when
Yeah.
you still can't read the ingredients, okay? So it's vegan. I still can't read
Yeah.
the ingredients. So
Right, right.
And I tell
That's
people all the
insane.
time, there is such thing as vegan junk food too.
Right.
But still such thing as having chemicals in something, like I said, that says natural or for vegans. That's the
Organic.
thing that a lot of people uh, don't realize is that just because it says that does not mean that is the better product. You just have to make sure you're reading all the ingredients.
Yeah.
mm,
And one of the things that people, I mean, I don't think that we're taught enough of this, but your skin is like, this is your barrier to the outside world. Like you're mostly liquid, and this skin is preventing your internal environment from being damaged. So
Mhm.
it's so super important,
It is.
like we've been talking about. And I know for me, I grew up having this inflammatory skin condition called cystic acne. And, I had no idea that I had Graves' disease the whole time because that is associated as one of the things that should be looked at as a link to an autoimmune disease. But I tried so many things. Went through phases of being overzealous with washing. People kept telling me you can't have skin like that if you're clean. And so I kept scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing and just damaging my skin. And so you want to be gentle with your skin. And exactly what Rhea was pointing out is that the less crazy chemicals are in it is the better it's going to be for your skin because your skin is consuming those products the way you eat, like the same way you eat, and your body will use it. So, I mean, it might be to a lesser extent, but it's still going to end up
Mhm.
inside of you, in your liver, etc.
Yes.
So,
I wanted to point out something too. When I used to work at a weight loss clinic, there was a reason why we would have to tell the clients during your time of wanting to lose weight, you cannot put on any type of cream. And there were certain creams that we would go over with them because that stifles your metabolism. Again, a lot of
mm.
people do not think that beauty products or anything like that stifles metabolisms and different things, but it does.
wow, that is
And then
very profound.
definitely, someone that is, going through, chemo treatments,
Mm.
um, definitely have to be very careful because the skin is very, very sensitive.
Yes.
Yes.
And there's
Mm.
also skin brushing is another way of detoxing the body skin.
Yes, I love
But
that.
mhm.
I love
I
that.
did have a question for you. With your expertise in makeup,
Mhm.
the art of makeup, because I consider you guys to be great artists.
Thank
Um, what tips would you have for like the woman on the go who only has a few minutes in the morning to throw something on and run out? Like, what is there a quick like routine as far
Mhm.
as lipstick, um,
Yes.
eyes, etc.?
Yeah, so there's three things that I always tell the busy woman, and that's your mascara, your lips, so whether it's a gloss or whatever, if you want to do a color, it's up to you, and also some type of glow. So whether it be a blush or a bronzer, those three things, your face will look like it's fully done.
Mm, beautiful, beautiful. That's great advice in this new year because a lot of women right now are turning over that leaf of like, I'm gonna take better care of myself and I want to look good so that I can feel good emotionally. So
Yeah,
that's really a really good tip.
yeah. Thank
Especially
you.
with us wearing these masks, we don't need to put a whole lot of makeup on.
Right.
Just the mascara, on your eyes and moisturize your skin and go.
Mhm.
Keep it
Absolutely.
simple, easy breezy.
And I was talking about this before. A lot of women, even the ones that do have the autoimmune disease, and those that have went through chemo, I love putting it on the pinky and on
The eyebrows.
the eyebrow and on your
Yeah.
lash line, and
Yeah.
then go to sleep. Because that really helps with your hair follicles.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
So I do
nice.
like that, especially because it moisturizes that area that tends to get dry, but that's a
Mm.
really good tip in putting it on our eyebrows and in our lash line if we need them, moisturized.
Yes. And it
Great,
helps the
thank you.
hairs to grow back because of the inflammation. It decreases the inflammation in the
Definitely.
eyebrows, especially.
Definitely.
Great advice.
Great, thank you. And of course, we could not complete our little health segment without touching on fitness and some nutrition tips. Now, Coach Rhea,
Mhm.
you take fitness and nutrition very seriously
Yes.
and have learned how nutrition, along with exercise, can help or reverse some of the most difficult health conditions. What are some of your favorites to go to healing foods that helps to manage building a strong immune system and also health conditions? Just to kind of piggyback, we were talking earlier.
So I did want to read the list that I have because I did not want to leave anything out, because it's super important. But before I do that, I need to make sure that everyone knows that even if it's hard, I need for you to move, because when you don't move, you make it harder. So even if it's sitting down on that chair and you're doing exercises, I have a lot of, tips about exercises while you're sitting in the chair. Your legs can still be moving. You can still be doing side bends while you're in the chair. It's really, really important, because if you
Mhm.
don't, that edema, that inflammation, that the stiffness is going to get worse. So I just wanted to say that moving is very, very important. But as far as the immunity help, staying away from ingredients that cause havoc inside your body is the key to assisting your immune system to function at the high capacity, because ingredients such as sugar, processed oils, refined carbs, being in contact with things that we all are exposed to, also like the air pollution, cigarettes, smoke, the UV exposure. That's why we need to strengthen our immune system, because having all that around us can break us down. So I did want to go over some foods, um, and again, with the immune system, because of the excess of the free radicals in the body, can create the situation of oxidative stress, an imbalance that may put the body at greater risk of illness. So your immune system starts to get weaker when you're around all those things. And having those things that I was talking about before as a barrier in our skin helps protect it like a shield. Um, Talking about, skin wellness. But as far as the foods, your daily intake, of course, depends on your weight, your age. But Some of my favorites are the oranges and the lemons and the limes, the grapefruits. Everybody can't have all these because you can't have grapefruit with certain medicines. What I'm saying, this list is mostly like a generic list. If you cannot take some, you know to stay away from them. Bell peppers, unsweetened yogurt is very good for your immune system. The garlic, the legumes, the mushrooms, the berries, the turmeric, the sweet potato, broccoli, the ginger, the spinach, the almonds, sunflower seeds, organic green tea, papaya, and kiwi. And like I said, the daily intake goals depends on health, sex, and age. And I am available to do wellness consults as far as that goes. If anybody is interested, they can always go on my website on riamalleyfitness.com and click on Book Ria, and you'll get some more information on how to book an appointment with me.
Beautiful. What types of workouts or exercises can you suggest for people who are physically challenged or dealing with weakness or pregnancy or chronic conditions?
So I love clay because when you have clay, you're working your hands. So clay is a good one. Also, they sell like the sand where you can have some sand in like a bowl, and that's good therapy to just, grab onto the sand and then let it go. Grab onto the sand and let it go. That's great for arthritis. And I know firsthand about arthritis. Um, and there was a time that I couldn't even do this, and I can.
Wow.
So that's another exercise that's very important because when you have a lot of surgeries, I've had a lot of reconstructions in my hands, and there's a lot of scar tissue buildup. The scar tissue, um, when I feel it, it's almost impossible for certain people to even close their hand because of that scar tissue. So if you keep on moving, it's going to help that.
Wow.
But things like putting the clay and also the sand on your feet and wiggling your toes in it,
Mm.
that's super important for the senses. Having a family member massage very gently lotion on their legs, that's also helpful as well. Helping them, assisting them, putting their legs up, putting their legs down, bending their legs, putting them straight. There is a way of doing it. If you can't do it by yourself, there is assistance, and there is coaches like myself that will assist with different clientele like that. It's just that a lot of people don't look for a medically trained personal trainer. They think that you have to go to a doctor's office for that, but not necessarily. There are certain people that, have credentials as a medical personal trainer and, different credentials that can help people that have issues with moving. But most importantly, you have to do some type of movement, not just walking. Walking is good, but you really have to use those, muscles that tend not to get used a lot, especially moving your arms when you're not always moving your arms. That's really important because that affects the back. If you're not moving your arms on a regular, it's going to start weakening your back. And if you have a weak back, you got to make sure that your core is nice and strong. And there are sitting down exercises to strengthen the core. It doesn't have to be sit-ups. Let me tell you, sit-ups is not the only way to go. When you engage your abs in and then let them go, you just did an ab workout right there. So if you do that several times a day, that also helps with strengthening your abs as well.
And that's actually good for someone, in an office setting, when you're sitting in a chair a long period of time. That is a great way.
Absolutely. And
Fun.
also the chair squats, stand up and sit down. I tell people all the time that tell me, oh, they can't do squats. I'm like, do you sit down? And they're like, Yeah, I said, do you
Get
stand?
up.
I'm like, do that in your chair. That's a squat. And yes, if you have bad knees, you still can sit down in a chair and stand back up. You just have to do it at your pace. But there's certain exercises that you cannot do that other people do. And that's the problem. A lot of people think that, oh, I can do lunges, and not everybody can do lunges. You can't
Yeah.
do lunges if you have bad knees. And
Hmm.
then if you do, you have to do it a certain way. That's why it's very important to get assessed by a certified professional, experienced personal trainer so they can tell you the do's and don'ts for you.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Now, Coach Ria, you written a fitness journal called Becoming Well, and
Yes.
you're also an advocate for Alzheimer's Association. What is the most important advice that you have for our viewers in 2022?
You have to find someone that you can be accountable to. You have to. And they have to be the right person for you. That's going to be there to remind you of what you need to be doing, of your goals. And, there's a lot of people that can do things without anybody's help, but then there's some that need help. And those people that are helpers, take notice of those people that do need you. Always try to encourage everyone, even though you may think that, oh, she doesn't need encouragement. A lot of the people that need encouragement are the ones that are not going to ask for it.
Mm.
So in this coming up year and beyond, you just have to set those realistic goals and have someone that can help you follow through.
Thank you so much, Coach Ria, for sharing all this vital health information for us to move forward in 2022 and just continue living a healthy lifestyle for us. Dawn, can you share some final closing words of wisdom to kind of sum everything up that we just covered?
Yes. This interview with our wonderful guest Ria has really just made me reflect on last year's G.L.O.W. Starting out, being part of this team, I should say, and just seeing how many diverse things that you can learn from different experts about mental health, um, physical health, diet, exercise, etc. I'm just so grateful to the people who will pour this knowledge into you and help us, especially women and men, to help us to realize that you are doing yourself a disservice if you're not investing in yourself as far as maintaining your health. At the end of the day, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the friends in the world, you can travel the world, but if you are not working towards physical wholeness as much as possible, despite whatever conditions you have, then are you really living as fully as you possibly can? God said that he gave us the green herbs for the healing of our bodies, and I'm paraphrasing, but he prepared this planet to have sources of food even before he put human beings. So that tells you how important it is to invest in yourself, love yourself enough, love your family and friends enough to live a long, healthy life, and pour into yourself, um, and love yourself by taking care of your health.
Thank you so much, Dawn. And before we close out, Coach Ria, can you just share again the websites and social media links that we can stay connected with you?
Yes, on Instagram, I'm on Ria Mali, and that's RIAMALI. And my website is especiallyjustforyou.com and riamallifitness.com. Uh, from those two websites, you can go on to the other websites. So again, I am on Instagram under Ria Mali. The companies are on Instagram as well. The Tea Company, LLC, Wellness Wellness Matters Company, and not just the tea company. I had to think about those because I have several on Instagram. I like Instagram better. Sorry.
Yes.
But I do have a meal prepping business as well. So that's called Not Just a Tea Company. And I have my herbs, and you can find me at a retail store in Winter Garden. It's Ruby and Rust. The address is 31 South Main Street in Winter Garden, Florida.
Thank you so much, Coach Ria.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, ladies.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And before we close out, I just want to share some upcoming on the next Glow Show, which on Tuesday, February the 8th, we have Dr. Susan Kay, who is a sexologist, sex educator, intimacy coach, surrogate, partner specialist, and she will be sharing secrets of balancing love, sex, and wellness. Again, that's coming up next month on Tuesday, March the 8th at 7 p.m. So save the date on that one. And also, one of our sponsors of G.L.O.W is Dr. Donald Tate, founder and CEO of Dr. Donald Tate and Associates, who is a grief recovery specialist. Please check out his presentation on grief coming up on January 15th. He will be giving a better understanding on what is grief and ways to move from grief. Also, coming up on February, he'll have Dr. Tate, his virtual Meditate with Dr. Tate starting February. Stay tuned on our Facebook pages, and we'll let you know the exact date that will be coming up. And of course, don't forget to log on to KUO Magazine. Available online now is our January, February, March issue, celebrating women rising and reaching back, featuring Nigerian storyteller, story teacher, and creativity coach Doris Arul on the cover, along with 5 other amazing women. Amina Brandt, she's our young woman of culture. Free Harris, who's an author with her new book. Catherine Murray Love, a self empowerment educator, TV host, producer of Kweli Works. Sonia Morris, a 2-time breast cancer survivor. And Victoria Brentley, author, advocate, life coach, and entrepreneur, and so much more inside this issue. Please log on and subscribe. Again, visit us on kuomagazine.com. Also, subscribe and follow us on YouTube at official KUO Magazine and official Women of Culture, culture spelled with a K, to see all our previous shows. I would like to thank our special guest, Ria Marley, for again her vital information and keeping us healthy in 2022.
Thank
And
you.
I'd also like to thank our co-producer of G.L.O.W and technical director, Kujaatele, Kweli, which I know him as Cooch, that making us look so fabulous on this show. And the viewers, I am Coach Mea coming to you from Macoe. Thank you all for tuning in to G.L.O.W 365. Until next time, stay safe. Well, continue to find your glow within the mind, body, and soul.